everyone, breaking news coming in from Canada. Trudeau government has implemented stricter rules on temporary foreign workers. Now, this is a significant policy shift. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of Canada has announced that Canada will reduce the number of temporary foreign workers in the country. Its government will introduce stricter regulations requiring companies to provide clear justifications for their inability to hire Canadian workers before seeking foreign labor. This move aims to prioritize job opportunities for the Canadians while ensuring that employers demonstrate a genuine need for foreign talent. Now, of course, fewer temporary workers in Canada as per the new Canadian policy. A big move coming in from Justin Trudeau just as his own MPs have lost trust in him. Let's go across to Krutarth, who's joining us from the newsroom here in Noida. Krutarth, a very good afternoon to you. Now, Connor Trudeau has announced this move. Is this just a measure to gain more votes from the locals ahead of the, ahead of the elections when his own party MPs are asking him not to contest for a fourth term?
Indeed, Kriti, and the situation is extremely dire for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, both inside the parliament and on the ground. Inside the parliament, at the moment, he heads a precariously low government on numbers, which is in minority, since NDP pulled back its support to the Liberal Party. Outside, he is facing a historic low approval rating. When Trudeau came into office, he had an approval rating of about 63%. In June, it went down to its lowest at around 28%, and today it stands at around 33%. Amidst this entire saga of the diplomatic row with India, Trudeau back home faces massive anti-incumbency issues in the 9th year of his prime ministership, particularly on two major areas. One is the cost of living crisis and inflation in Canada, and second is how his government has handled the immigration crisis. Now, particularly in focus has been the immigration crisis, especially in the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic, since when lot of armed robbery, lot of petty crimes, as well as slum areas and poverty has risen in Canada dramatically. So in a direct move to counter the backlash that the Trudeau government was facing from its major principal opposition party, the Conservatives, especially on the immigration row, seems that Trudeau, as a matter of act of desperation, has now come out with this new law of temporary visas and temporary work permits to be heavily restricted in numbers. It is not the first time, they have already done it previously. In fact, a lot of Canadian MPs were originally criticizing the Trudeau government over its skewed immigration policy, which favored only specific countries. One of them was India, which was looked at as a country which had certain favorable immigration laws because of its ally, NDP ally Jagmeet Singh. Now, how much of this new law will impact India remains to be seen. However, clearly, it is a reaction of the backlash that the Trudeau government has faced in the last few weeks. As many as 24 MPs we are picking up, Kriti, are descending openly against Trudeau and have written a letter asking him to step down with an ultimatum of 4 days, giving him a deadline of October 28th.
Right. All right. Stay on with us, Krutarth. Let me also go across to Arth, who's also there in the newsroom there. Arth, talk to us about how is this move really going to affect the Indians? A lot of Indian students go to Canada for higher education. How many Indian foreign workers are there in Canada in temporary employment, and how is this move going to affect others who are planning to go there?
आप आ जाइए आप यहाँ रहिए जिस स्टेप थोड़ा सा आगे जिस स्टेप है ज़्यादा हो गया
All right, there's some technical issue with Arth's audio there. I want to put that question to you instead, Krutarth. Just want to get to understand from you as to how many how many Indians are there employed in Canada in a foreign workers capacity in a temporary position, and how is this move going to affect the Indians there, given that a lot of Indian students see Canada as a destination for higher education?
As the law stands at the moment, Canada sees around 4 lakh permanent residents on an average a year when they give it. And originally, Canada had also recently quite cut the international student permits by 35% just earlier this year. So we clearly see that there is a dramatic shift both on the education side also, which is one of the major areas in which students, especially from India, travel to Canada in. However, these laws are specifically designed to keep out all temporary work permit holding visa holders. Now, we also see a lot of immigration problems coming in the United States, where immigration has also become a major issue. And once you cross over into the United States from the South Americas, or let's say a country like Mexico, it is very easy to cross over into Canada. So this law is not specifically designed towards keeping Indians out per se, but it is a massive problem of illegal immigration, which now is also finding a lot of coherence, a lot of adherence, and a lot of support in the halls of the Canadian Parliament, which is clearly why the Trudeau government is forced to its hand to act on it.
All right. Well, thanks, Krutat, for joining us for now. Let's also tell our viewers how Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau is facing mounting pressure from within his own party. 24 Liberal MPs have signed a letter urging him not to run for a fourth term. The lawmakers are calling for Trudeau to make a decision about his political future by October 28, in just 4 days, pushing for his resignation amid a growing dissatisfaction within his own party, especially at a time when he has picked up a diplomatic row with India. Let's also go across to Samiksha, who is joining us from the studios here to give us more details. Samiksha, over to you.